What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Ramage Show. You know, we're going to pick some games tonight. We're going to, it's the Pick'Em Show, you know what I mean? Picking all the games throughout the NFL. We're going to kind of slide through this because I want to talk about some Green Bay Packers with everyone in the chat. So hammer the chat. Let's talk some Green Bay Packers football. But we're going to pick these games too. But like I said, we're going to kind of slide through them a little bit, except for like the really interesting games, you know what I mean? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the games I don't care about. You probably don't care about. If I don't care about them, you know what I mean? You probably don't either. But before we start hammering the chat and start chit-chatting and talking about some football, let's give a shout out to the sponsor of the show, Quick Trip, you know what I mean? Heading to Green Bay this season, be sure to stop at Quick Trip. You know, they got the glazers, they got the cheese, they have the brats, they have the ice, they have everything that you might need. And also they have the hot spot, you know what I mean? You got something to eat before you head over there. And also they got the clean bathrooms, you know what I mean? So if you're traveling through Wisconsin land or the Midwest, and Quick Trip, Quick Star, you know they got those clean bathrooms locked up for you, know what I mean? And you don't have to go outside, you know, it's 1987 anymore. But also big shout out to Nicolay Law. If you get injured, you know, Nicolay Law, call Nicolay Law, nicolaylaw.com. They're going to talk to the insurance companies, make sure that you get what you do if you're missing work or whatnot. So shout out to the great sponsor of the show, Quick Trip, Nicolay Law, Wisconsin's finest, you know what I mean? So let's head over here to the chat before we start getting into these games. I already made my picks, so hopefully you made your picks too. And if you're in the Ramage Pick'Em League, and if you're not, you know, it's not too late probably, you know what I mean? You try to catch up. So join the Ramage Pick'Em League. But what is up, Karen? How you doing today? And I will say that we do not have a producer tonight. I'm doing this whole thing myself, like the old days, because my producer Vince is he's on a trip. And I want to say Vince, you know, I don't want to give any personal information, but I want to say happy birthday to Vince. His dad, it's his birthday. They're over there celebrating that thing. So shout out to Vince and happy birthday to Pops over there. And I want to show some love since Vince ain't here. You know what I mean? I don't like saying nice things to people in front of him all the time. But Vince has made my live streams, my game streams so much better. So shout out to Vince. We have a lot of fun on the game streams. And if you haven't tuned in, tune in this Sunday night. Packers, Cowboys, we're doing a watch party. Vince will be back for that. And we're doing giveaways. We have 3 giveaways. We're giving a hoodie away. You know, I'm wearing it for people who watch on the video. We have the Thank You Jerry hoodies. I'm giving one of these away. But it'll be any hoodie from the store. You get to choose. I think we're giving that away in the fourth quarter. I think at halftime we're giving away beer glasses. I got some different type of beer glasses. This is one of them right here. We have the Bears Still Suck beer glasses. And then I think in the first quarter we're giving away a stack of stickers, a pack of stickers. I can't talk. But that is because, you know, every time I talk about my prize picks on my live streams or whatnot, and I win, I'm going to give back because no one cares about my prize picks. You know, no one cares about other people's stuff. So we're going to give back every single time. And I had a big win, $375. You know what I mean? So we're giving back. Kevin says, happy birthday, you know, to Vince's dad, you know, showing some love, you know what I mean, over here. Karen says, I'd make my picks ahead of the show. Yeah, so did I, because I don't want to do it like on the fly. You know what I mean? I go through there and pick those things. What's up, Robert? He says, hi, Matt. New to your show, like your podcast. I appreciate you, Robert. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, you know, we have the audio version as well. The Matt Ramage Show on Apple, Spotify. Some people are listening to it right now. And they're like, why are you promoting your podcast on your podcast? But we're also live on YouTube, Facebook, all the places. So if you're listening on a podcast, also be sure to subscribe over there on YouTube. And whatnot. We're going to get to a last few chats and we're going to get into these games. Good evening, Robert East. How you doing? You know what I mean? And we got Erica dropping it over here. I think the game Sunday night is going to be a blowout. I actually do too. I actually made my I was on the Derailed podcast over there. JJ and dude, I forgot. Jake's awesome, by the way. Very smart guy. I was on their podcast and I predicted 51-13, so I'm going to stick with that. 51-13 is my official pick for the Packers Cowboys game. I don't usually pick like outlandish scores, and I know people are telling me like, oh, you shouldn't do that because, it's one game at a time and we have to take this seriously. And what happened with the Browns and this and that? Like, dude, no, we don't. It doesn't matter what I say. Like, we're not, we don't affect the game. It doesn't matter. People always like give me grief because like I'm overconfident or whatever. And like, oh, you were last week too. What happened? Yeah, they lost, dude. And I ate crow and like whatever. People are gonna say, hey, you were wrong and you're stupid, whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean? I love this football team. I love the Green Bay Packers. I think this Packers team is really good. Yeah, that Browns game sucked. The offensive line was horrible. Like Jordan Love with that interception, like what was going on there? Like the offense, the special teams, but the defense did their job. So Jesse Huber was up in the chat on my Facebook, and he like made a good point. He was like, all they have to do is just don't turn the ball over, don't do stupid stuff, and ride on the defense. Make your plays like when they're there, but like don't get crazy with it. And this team can be really good, and this offense can be good too. But you're not going to run into like the defensive line like against the Browns like every week. But you got to do better when you do, because come playoff time, that's what you're going to play. You're going to play good defensive line. I'm not saying the Browns, but you're going to play good defenses. So they have to be able to counter that. And they had some injuries as well, but you got to next man up, all that stuff. So we have to. I think this Packers can be a good team. Let's get to the chat over here. Linda said, haha, the Bears still suck. Beer mug, love it. You know what I mean? We got Bears still suck. We got Victory Monday. We got all types of good stuff. And anybody who wins, they get to pick like what they get with the beer mug. Stickers, I don't have a ton of stickers, but I'm going to send a pack. Rick says, evening, bro, and thank you for the giveaways on Sunday night. The best cheers. That is what it is. We're gonna get into these picks real quick, but the reason I wanted to do this giveaway is because I appreciate people watching live. You know what I mean? A lot of people follow me, but they don't all tune into the live stream. And I do a lot of giveaways, on my page and whatnot on Facebook. But I wanted to do a giveaway for the live stream because for everyone who rocks out with me every week, people like Rick, people are in here, like it's kind of the same people. We have like a little community over here on for the watch parties and the live shows. So I want to give back to those people, you know what I mean? People who are supporting. Defense is balling out, shut down stuff, you know what I mean? All right, so we're going to get right into to the picks over here. And like I say, I'm going to run through some of these kind of fast because I'm not going to talk too much about games I don't care about as much, but ones that matter to us. But hammer the chat. Let me know what you're thinking over here. We got the graphics over here, and the producer set them all up for me, so I got the graphics over here. We got the Seahawks. We have the Cardinals over here. All right, we got 31% of the CBS land thinks the Cardinals are going to win this game. Cardinals are 2-1 at home, taking on the Seahawks, who are also 2-1. 69% of the people think Seahawks are going to win this game, but I'm picking the Cardinals in this one. Like, I'm not going with the percentage. You know what I mean? Let's stand out a little bit. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. I haven't really watched a ton of Seahawks or Cardinals this season. This is obviously a division game, both 2-1, but I'm taking the Cardinals in that one. You know what I mean? And that's all I got to say about that. You know what I mean? We're going to keep her moving over here. Let's get to the next one. This is a game that we care about. This is a ball game we care about. And I actually thought about live streaming this for doing a watch party, but it's very early. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Steelers. You know what I mean? And, we got the Vikings, obviously NFC North rival. And then the Steelers, we got Aaron Rodgers over there, playing for the Steelers. And they're 2-1. Steelers are 2-1. They're at home, taking on the Vikings, who are also 2-1. And just, the Vikings, they switched quarterbacks. They had an injury or whatever. But now they got Wentz back there. 37% of CBS land thinks that the Steelers are going to win this game. 63% say the Vikings. I'm actually picking the Vikings in this game, but I don't know. I think we will see. But let me know. Hammer the chat. Who do you got? Steelers or Vikings? Aaron Rodgers in his maybe possibly his last season. I feel like it's a good fit over there in Steelerland. Tomlin and him are good friends. I feel like Aaron Rodgers isn't going to lay down softly. I think he's been having some good games. Haven't seen a lot of Steelers games. That's why I thought about watch party in this thing, but that's early in the morning. That's like the one day I get to sleep in. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure I will, but let's get to some predictions over here. We got Robert Easy here that Steelers are going to take this thing. And another Robert says Pittsburgh's going to get this thing. Let's see what Eric has to say. She says there in Ireland, the game is at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's probably going to be on the NFL. Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like that's a really good football game. But, I get they're doing these overseas things, and, whatever. I'm not going to get too upset about it. But that's probably too early for me to be getting up and being like having a watch party and being loud and like trying to be amped up. That's just too early. And it's like one of my only days. I'm off tomorrow though. I am off tomorrow. But Sundays is like the only day that I'm off every week. So I like to sleep in just a little bit. You know what I mean? I got the Vikings by 6. Erica says. Rick says Steelers. 9:30 a.m. too early. It is very early. And Karen says the Vikings. And then we got Matt over here says Pittsburgh's going to get this thing. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good test for both those teams. Because I think these are two good teams. One in the NFC, obviously, one in the AFC. I think it's going to be a good test for both of them. And let's see who's going to win this thing. But the next one we have Commanders and the Falcons over here. Let me take this graphic off. Hey, I see I'm screwing up over here. Take that comment off over here. And so the next one we have Commanders and the Falcons. All right, the Packers played the Commanders. The Commanders are a good football team. Packers won that thing. And they got Preston Smith now over there. So Commanders at the Falcons. Let's break this thing down. 89% of CBS land thinks that the Commanders are going to win this game. This game is at noon on Sunday. They are 2-1, taking on, in Atlanta, the 1-2 Falcons. Only 11% of the people have faith in the Falcons in this game. I'm picking the Commanders in this game as well. I think the Commanders are a good football team. Added in Preston Smith. Shout out to Preston Smith. You know what I mean? Hopefully balls out over there. The Commanders are a good football team, though. They're going to bounce back. That's just what happened. They ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into the buzzsaw that was the great Packers. That's the thing about the Packers season, which is so crazy to me. Everyone's talking about this Browns game. Like, oh, look what happened to the Browns. They don't want to talk about what the Packers did the first 2 weeks. And that's what it is. We're 3 weeks in. And when the Packers take on the Cowboys, and I think the Packers are going to win big on that game, and then everything switches. Like right now, everyone's talking about the Cowboys or the Bears, how good they are because they beat the Cowboys. So like every week, it's week to week. 1 week, they all love you. The next week, they're all trashing you. That's just what it is. But let's get to some comments over here. We got Robert. He says the Cammies are going to get it. Matt thinks the Commanders. I think mostly everyone over here in the chat thinks Washington's got this thing. We got Jay over here. I want to get to all of them. Shout out to everyone watching live right here. Jason, yeah. So I think it's pretty universal. I don't think the Falcons are really a particularly good football team this year. So we're going to keep them moving over here. And then after we're done with the picks, hammer the comments. We're going to talk about the Packers. Obviously, when this Packer game comes up on the list, we're going to do that too. We got Saints and the Bills over here. Saints and the Bills. Let me turn this one off. Turn that one on. Look at no producer. We're still getting after it. Not quite as good, but we're still getting after it a little bit. Here we go. Saints, Bills. I think the Bills absolutely dominate them. 99% of CBS land says the Bills get it. The Bills are 3-0. The Saints are 0-3. So this is opposite football teams. The Bills are a really good football team, and the Saints are a really bad football team. So I don't think anyone in their right mind is picking anyone other than the Saints. Let's get a chat over here. What's up, Leroy? He said, yo, Matt Dog, what's up? How you doing? I appreciate you jumping in here. Yeah, Bills by 20, Robert says. Bills by 30, Matt says. I like that those comments are right next to each other. All right, we're going to keep it moving because I don't think this game is in doubt. You know what I mean? Bills are going to win big in that particular football game. All right, here we go. Let's keep it moving over here. Who else we got? Who do we got next? I think I lost my spot over here. All right, here we go. Browns, Lions. This is the game that we care about right here. The Cleveland Browns at the Lions. All right. So this is a game that I know everyone's going to be talking about, like, if the Lions beat the crap out of the Browns, they're going to try to drill the Packers more for losing them. But that's the NFL. That's the NFL. Every single week, like, you can pick all the games like throughout this season, like this team beat this team and then they lost to that team, but that team beat this team over here. And there's all that. So that's how it is. It's week to week. The Lions are 2-1. They're at home. 98% say the Lions are going to win that game. The Browns are 1-2. 2% think that they're going to win that game. And then the Browns are probably going to lose that game because that was a highly emotional game. That was a hard fought game for the Browns. They won that thing in the last second. Packers led the game, for all but 3 minutes of that ball game. The Browns got the win, but like that emotional letdown will crash. The Lions are a good football team. They're firing. They're trying to come back from that Packers loss. So yeah, the Lions probably will win that game. I'm picking the Lions to win that game, but I don't think that the Lions winning that game big, and people are going to spin it on the Packers like, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. But I do think that Lions offense isn't going to be like highly successful against that Browns defense. I do not think that at all. Oh, I got the wrong graphic up over here. I forgot to pause it. Here we go. Let me fix this graphic on the screen over here. My fault. Hang on. What is going on over here? All right. Now we have the right one up there. And after I'm all done. This is why we need a producer. This is why we need a producer on the show. You know what I mean? But Jay says the Lions, everyone, I think it's probably picking the Lions in this one. Robert says Detroit will blitz old man Flacco 40-10. Yeah, I think it's going to be just like I thought the Packers were going to do. I think the Browns do that to the or the Lions do that to the Browns. I think the Browns are going to have a letdown, after a big win like that. And Detroit's coming in fired up. They're fired up. They've been getting roasted. They've been getting absolutely roasted. And the next game, we have the Panthers at the Pats. This is a game. Hang on. This is a game nobody cares about all too much. I mean, people, not me, anyways. Not me. Couldn't relate. You know what I mean? If you do, but we're gonna run through this thing real quick. We're gonna have what do we got? 83% CBS land thinks the Patriots are going to win. The Patriots 1-2, Panthers 1-2. Two not very good football teams. I'm taking the Patriots in this one, but nobody really cares about this game. So we're going to keep it moving over here. We're going to take that graphic off, put the next one up. We got Giants, Chargers. Another game that, I'm going to New York this season to watch the Giants take on the Green Bay Packers. But I think in this particular game, I think the Chargers win. 97% of CBS and also think so. The Giants aren't good. They're 0-3. They're not a good football team. I've seen a lot of talk in the offseason because I was gearing up to go to this game. I was looking at it. Giants fans were hopeful a little bit, and it seems like it's not coming out to be. They are 0-3. Chargers are 3-0. Chargers are rolling, so I think everyone's going to have the Chargers in that ball game. And now we got ourselves a game that people care. This is going to be a good game. I'm actually considering doing a watch party for this game. This game is at noon. This is the Eagles at the Bucks. I messed up the graphic. Let me. I'm learning this stuff. This is not my system, people. But we have the Eagles at the Buccaneers. Eagles are 3-0. The Bucks are 3-0. This is going to be a good game, good important game for the NFC. Both teams 3-0. Bucks are at home. I've watched some Bucks games. I've watched some Eagles games. These are good football teams. It'll be interesting to see. That's why I'm thinking about doing a watch party because it's an important game for the NFC. But we're going to see, are the Bucks for real? Because the Eagles are kind of that team that everyone expects to be there, obviously with winning the championship. So the Bucks have been getting after Baker Mayfield. I like how he plays. He reminds me of like young Brett Favre a little bit, or at least like maybe not young, but like when he started doing his thing, just the way he runs around, just like he seems to enjoy the game. He's just I wouldn't say reckless, but he's not afraid to get after it. So Baker Mayfield has been fun to watch this year right here. Jay says 3-hour time change has no effect. Tampa winning by 3. There you go. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a close game. Robert Kraft says, Robert Coley says, hate to Robert Kraft. You know what I mean? Hate to pick it, but Eagles by 6. Yeah, I think Eagles by 6 is probably pretty close of what's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game. But whenever you think they're going to be really close games, sometimes they're not. You know what I mean? And then we got Titans at Texans. I'm not going to talk a lot about the Titans at Texans because both these teams suck. All right. Who did I pick? Let me just check the old picks right here because I'm not even sure. Dude, the Titans are like, I could not care less about a team more. I think I picked the wrong game over here. Hang on. Let me get back to over here. Why does it say Titans at Texans? But I don't see it on my screen. It goes Colts, Rams. But let me scroll down here. I don't know. Who cares about that game anyways? I'm not even sure if it's not on here. But we got Colts and Rams. Let's keep it moving. This is a professional show over here. Colts, Rams over here. Let's see who I picked. Oh no, now we see Titans and Texans. Now it's there. It wasn't there just a second ago. But yeah, 8% think the Titans are gonna win. All right, so let's keep it moving over here. We got the Colts and the Rams. Let's see if I can find. I think we're out of order over here. I got the Rams winning this game. 76% of CBS landing. So 2-1. The Rams are off to a good start. The Colts also are 3-0. 24% think the Colts are going to win this game. I think the Rams are going to win this ball game. They're at home. I feel like everyone's, Devontae Adams, I feel like he's fitting in well over there. He's got that big play. So I think the Rams are going to win this game. And Robert thinks as well. Jay, shout out to you, everyone in the chat. Texans by 2. Robert says it's going to be a tie. But yeah, that's what I think there. All right, we're going to keep it moving over here because I do want to chat about the Packers. I'm more interested in talking about the Packers in these games. Jaguars at 49ers. I don't think anyone in their right mind is picking the Jaguars to win this game, are they? Let's check the percentages over here. Jaguars, 14% of people on CBS land think the Jaguars can win this game. They are 2-1. They're traveling over to San Francisco. The Niners are 3-0. They just lost Bosa, season-ending injury, so that sucks for them. 86% got them winning that game, and I'm one of those 86%. I think the Niners win that. Tough loss though. You hate to see injuries. You know, the Niners had all those injuries last year. The Lions did too. Even if it's a team like I don't like, it sucks to see like losing top players, dude. It's brutal. As Packer fans, we've seen like Aaron Rodgers go down. We've seen Jordy Nelson throughout the years. We've seen like these horrible injuries, like your key guys. So, and I think it's bad mojo to even I don't like to talk about injuries like that, you know what I mean? But I think the Niners win big in that game, and that's what it's going to be, you know what I mean? All right, so Ravens-Chiefs, this is going to be a good game right here. This is going to be one of the better games, I think, of the week. One of the games I'm looking forward to right here. And let's check out, we got 69% think the Ravens are going to win this game. They're in Kansas City. Chiefs are 1-2. 31% are picking the Chiefs to win this game. I am picking the Chiefs. I am one of that 31%. I think the Chiefs are like the Patriots back in the day, like when you just couldn't count them out. Even when they had a sluggish start, maybe they had a game or maybe a 2-game streak, losing streak. I think the Chiefs are going to come back. Ravens are a good football team. They kind of got exposed a little bit. They did really good against the Browns. That's kind of what I was looking at with preparing for this Browns game, is that the Ravens put like 45 on them. So, I thought maybe the Packers could do that too. It wasn't meant to be. But I think the Ravens are a good football team, but I think the Chiefs win this thing. I think they win this thing. And then we're going to keep her moving over here over to the Bears. The Bears are taking on the Raiders, two not-so-good football teams. Right? The Bears had their moment in the sun. Everyone's excited about the Bears because they beat the Cowboys, beat them big. But I'm not overly impressed with the Bears. 65% are taking the Bears. They are 1-2. They're traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders, who are also 1-2. 35% of the CBS land thinks that the Raiders are going to win this game, but I'm picking I'm picking the Raiders in this game. I'm picking the Raiders, baby. I don't think I'll ever pick the Bears to win a football game. The Bears, just because they beat the Cowboys and they got, everyone's all excited. Caleb Williams is his best game as a pro. Yeah, okay, about time. You know what I mean? They finally put one together against the Cowboys, who are in like disarray. Everything is a mess over there. I fully expect the Packers to stomp them out over there. I do think the Cowboys are going to be fired up when they play the Packers because of obvious reasons, the Micah Parsons situation. But I'm taking the Raiders to win this game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win. These are two not so great football teams. But you ain't going to tune into the Matt Ramage show and see me over here highlighting the Bears. You know what I mean? What's up, Eric? The Bears still suck. Philly boy in the building. He says, the Bears win. I hate those words. You know what I mean? I just can't do it. I think it could be close. But Robert, going back to the Kansas City game, he says Kansas City in overtime field goal. That would be something. All right, so we're going to keep moving over here because I feel like the next game is the game that we actually care about. Where we got over here, Packers. Oh, I gotta get that comment out of there. That's why the producers come in handy. But the Packers at Dallas. The Packers at Dallas is the Packers are pretty comfortable playing in Dallas. They have a better playoff record in Dallas at that stadium than the Cowboys do. 94% of CBS think the Packers are winning this game. 6% obviously with the Cowboys. Cowboys are 1-2. Cowboys are a mess. I feel like Jerry Jones just ruins that team. I can't emphasize it enough. I don't think he's good. I think it's brutal to be a Cowboys fan and have a nut job like that, just like running the show, and he just does crazy stuff. But Micah Parsons coming back. All right, so let's talk about this because they keep saying they're not going to have a tribute to Micah Parsons at the Cowboys game. Who cares? Why would they? I don't understand this whole thing about the tribute. Because why would you have a tribute to the guy you traded 4 weeks ago, all the drama you had? He's coming back to play against you for the first time. Why would you have a tribute? Did the Packers have a tribute for Brett Favre when he came back and played with the Vikings? Did they have a tribute for him? I don't think so. I don't remember that. Why would you? I think that's for after. If they want to, after he's done playing or whatever, they can do what they want. A lot of Cowboys fans love him. Maybe with this trade, I think there's a lot of anger from a lot of Cowboys fans and Cowboy people over there. But I don't think that you would do a tribute for a player who's trying to beat you. I get showing them love, give them a round of applause if you want, you know what I mean? But I don't think like the video thing, like they're supposed. I don't even know where that came from and why it's like a weird thing. That's not happening. We're gonna get some chat over here. Let me know what you think about this ball game. I think the Packers win big. Absolutely, Jay. Packers are going to win big. Robert says 31-17. Micah strip sack touchdown. I like that. I think Mike Parsons is going to have a huge game. I think he's going to have let's go 3 sacks. You know what I mean? Maybe 2 sacks and an interception. I don't know. But I think he's going to have a big game. He's going to be fueled up. Obviously, like he talked about his love for Dak Prescott, their boys, and he said it's going to hurt, like, to try to sack him and all that. But he's definitely be gunning for it. And the Cowboys, their players going to be jacked up too to try to beat them. And the Cowboys players, you can't imagine that they like the Packers. A lot of those players were on that playoff team that lost to the Packers. They would like to take it to them. Cowboys star, it's a rating, not a logo. You know what I mean? 1 star, do not recommend. Jay says 55-10 Packers. My official pick is going to be 51-13 because I picked it when I was over on the Derailed podcast over at JJ and Lehu, their podcast over there, him and Jake. I was on there last night. I said 51-13. I'm going to stick with it. I was a little buzzed up, but I'm going to stick with it. I think it's going to be a big win. I think the Packers have a lot to prove. They want to show everyone that they are that team. They're from the first 2 weeks. They're not from last week. Rashawn Gary's leading the league in sacks. He's got 4.5 sacks, leading the whole league, and that's what Micah Parsons does for you. When you don't have Rashawn Gary getting doubled and triple teamed or whatever, he's got room. This whole defense can be a weapon. This whole defense is scary. Rashawn Gary finally getting what he deserves. You know what I mean? Rashawn Gary's an absolute dog. Here we go. Travis, a tribute for a guy who's 26. Yeah, exactly. I don't get the whole tribute thing. Like, just, at some point you can thank him for all he's done for the Dallas or whatever. But, like, I don't know. The tribute thing was just silly to me. I don't understand why it was ever even brought up. Never felt more confident in one game this season. Yeah, I think as soon as that trade happened, everyone knew, like, what this Packers-Cowboys game was going to be. That, everyone's going to be fired up on both sides. Jerry Jones, he wants this win probably more than he's ever wanted to win. He said that Packers loss in the playoff game was like one of the hardest losses that he had, and now he trades Parsons to like a team he's playing this year and one of the top contenders in the NFC. And people don't know we have the thank you Jerry merch over here. We got the one with Jerry. He's wearing the cheese head over here. We have one without Jerry on it if you don't want to walk around with Jerry on your hoodie. But I think the Packers win big this game. They should win big. Offense has got to clean it up. They have to figure out that offensive line for the Packers. They have to, dude. The offensive line was atrocious. Like, you have to, as much as we kind of talk about like what Micah Parsons did for this pass rush, and we have a new defensive line coach. Like, the pass rush is just awesome this year. The offensive line is doing the opposite. Like, they're letting the other team get after it, especially last week. That was horrendous. They got to clean that up. They got some injuries over there. Zach Tom is not likely to play this week. People talking about, did they bring him back too early? I don't think they brought him back too early. Matt LaFleur kind of said that they weren't really sure about him, so he started the game and didn't feel right, so he went out. I don't think it was like he re-injured a thing, unless they're like kind of BSing us. But it seemed to me like they were just kind of testing him out. He might have felt good about it in pregame, but wasn't feeling good, so they got him out of there. You know what I mean? So I think the Packers win big against the Dallas Cowboys. But now we're gonna keep moving over here. Jets at the Dolphins over here. These are two teams, AFC, that I do not care about at all. But I got the Dolphins winning this game. Both teams are 0-3. This is in Miami. 74% of the people think the Dolphins are going to win this game. I like the Dolphins coach. We're all leading that way. I think both these teams are bad, though. I know the Jets are trying to build some over there. They got what's-his-face, Terry Glenn, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care about either of these teams, Bengals at the Browns, or Broncos, rather. I just messed up. Let me put this back over here. So we have the Bengals versus the Broncos. All right, Bengals, dude. Bengals are in rough shape. They lost their quarterback. 12% of CBS land thinks they're going to win this particular ball game. They are 2-1. They're going to Denver. They are 1-2. I'm taking the Broncos in this one. I just think the Bengals are in disarray because when you lose your quarterback, it sucks for Bengals. I feel really, really bad for Bengals fans to lose their quarterback again. Like, you wonder, like, what could be? What could this team, be? What Joe Burrow is a very good quarterback. Just the injuries are brutal over there. And so I think the Broncos are going to win this game. And I don't like the Broncos at all. I don't like talking good about the Broncos. You know what I mean? Go to that injury list. What's it going to be? We'll after this one, because we're almost done with this, and then we'll talk some Packers. I'll bring up that injury list, and we can talk about who we think is going to play. But yeah, I'm taking the Broncos in this game, and we're going to wrap up that part of it. And now we can just talk about the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? So let's hammer the chat. What do you want to talk about? The Green Bay Packers. I'm going to bring up the injury report over here for Wednesday. Stole this thing off Rob Demoski over here on Twitter. Where are we at here? So the Packers, we got Aaron Banks. Did not participate. Belton did not participate. Carl Brooks, limited participation. Actually, Belton was limited. But yeah, we got Bullard is on this thing, did not participate. I mean, it's Wednesday, it's early, so we're going to see. But Hobbs, full participation. Josh Jacobs, limited participation. Tucker Kraft, limited participation. Jordan Love, full participation. Bo Melton is on here, full participation. Micah Parsons, limited. I think most of these guys are going to play, but obviously Zach Tom, I think, is going to be a guy who doesn't play. Rasheed Walker's on here. He's unlimited. I feel like limited participation, a lot of those guys are going to play. We got White is on here too, but like Jordan Love's on here. Obviously, he's going to play. Josh Jacobs is going to play. Tucker Kraft, I think, is an interesting guy to see if not that he can play, but like, is that done with? Is that injury over with? I mean, obviously he's still on the injury report, so it's not completely done. But we need him healthy. First of all, he's on my fantasy team, so but I don't think that these injuries are overly concerning or like surprising of what we had. And then on the Cowboys, they have a smaller list over here. We got Bland, the cornerback. He's got limited participation. Tyler Booker, a tackle, did not participate. But the big one, Trevon Diggs, cornerback, did not participate, so we'll monitor that. CeeDee Lamb is he's going to be out. He did not participate, but he's out. CeeDee Lamb is like I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks. CeeDee Lamb missing is huge for the Dallas Cowboys. You're missing your top wide receiver. That's going to be a problem. So, my view, let me get to some comments over. What's up, Travis? How do we get Golden going? Yeah, we kind of did last week a little bit. He had that pass on that right sideline. He ran out of bounds. Everyone was talking about he should have turned it upfield. I think Matthew Golden, he's going to be fired up, first of all, from that, because he might feel that he should turn outfield. But I don't know. I'm not an athlete. Like, was his momentum taking him out of bounds? Like, it didn't seem like it on video, but I think it's hard to tell. But I think Matthew Golden is a dude that they're going to try to get involved. They're going to try to get involved early. Let them get after it. Like, just get through this game. They got a bye week coming up. Get through this game, get some people back, get healthy. I don't care if it's 51-13. Like, I'm talking all these high expectations. Like, a lot of people are excited about this game, and a lot of people think Packers are going to win big. But just get through this game. Just win the football game. All right? Let's limit the injuries, have a bye week the week after that. But the offensive line, like, is the thing. It's like 100% the thing. Coming into this season, I said secondary, cornerbacks. What's the problem? I was like, all right, because the pass rush last year wasn't looking good. Obviously, they went and traded for Micah Parsons. That elevates everyone on that defensive line. They got new defensive line coach, so maybe that was going to happen anyways. I feel like Van Ness was about to pop up no matter what. Quay Walker's doing his thing. So I'm excited about this defense. The secondary has shut up a lot of people. They're getting after it. Nixon, all of them back there are getting it done. And but the offensive line, dude, fix that. I think that what they need to do is, like, obviously have injuries or moving people around, but like it seems like they're moving people around so much. When you move people around, they're not getting comfortable in their spot. Jordan Morgan had a horrible game. So just fix that offensive line, dude. Give Jordan Love protection. Like, you got to have holes for the run. It seems like Josh Jacobs is having a problem getting going early in the games. And it's not him, dude. Josh Jacobs is an absolute beast. Josh Jacobs is an absolute baller, but give him somewhere to go. Give him somewhere to go. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dean. What's up, Matt? Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. It's gonna be a glorious game. I might do a pregame show for this for Sunday night. But if you haven't seen, I'm doing a giveaway on the live stream. It's not from the post. It's not on social media. It's not on Facebook, YouTube. It's not on any of those places. It's on the live stream. During the live stream, I'm just gonna pick people who are gonna win stuff. People who are in the chat. People who I see in the chat like the whole game. So we're doing a giveaway at fourth quarter. If people just jump in fourth quarter and they're not going to win probably. Maybe, because I'm just going to pick random people. We're going to do more of these. I don't know if they're all going to be this pricey because I'm giving away a hoodie, I'm giving away stickers, and I'm giving away a beer glass. Like this one right here. We have some other ones. But, it's kind of pricey. But I did win on Prize Picks during my live stream the other day. And I always say, like, hey, if I'm talking about my Prize Picks and I win, I will give back to the live watch party community because you have to listen to me, pretend like you care. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun watch party. Tune in, come hang out. Even if you can't stay the whole game, come in and out. Hammer the chat. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited about it. Also, Thursday night, I'm gonna be live for Thursday Night Football, and then Friday we're gonna do come hang out. I don't, Friday we'll see what I do, but I'm trying to do 6 days a week live streams. We're gonna see what we do Friday. I'm trying to think of like some game nights for like Friday night because Friday night everyone's having a good time. We're gonna figure this thing out. But the Packers gonna win big over in Dallas, and I want to see the cutover to Jerry. Like, dude, I think we should get a drinking game going. Drink every time they show Jerry Jones on the sideline. Bonus. 2 drinks if he's sad. 2 drinks if he's sad. It was funny too because they were asking Michael Parsons about tickets. Like, did he get tickets for his family to the game? And he's like, he still got a suite. They didn't give him a refund. So he offered him to Kenny Clark, from what I heard. But Kenny's like, nah. Kenny Clark's kind of a modest dude, from what in my interactions with him. But yeah, so he's got the suites over there. But yeah, Packers are gonna win big. I'm taking 51-13. Appreciate everyone who's tuning in over here. We're gonna be live tomorrow night. We're gonna talk some Packers tomorrow night too during Thursday Night Football. So be sure to hammer the chat. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's gonna be a good game tonight night. Lee says, "Sheesh, going to be blitz." You know what I mean? Yeah. If you do a drinking game every time they show Jerry, you're gonna be having a good time, or maybe not a good time. You know what I mean? But come hang out Thursday night for Thursday Night Football. Friday we'll probably do something. We'll figure this thing out. And obviously Sunday Night Football, we're gonna be live over here. And we got Timmy over here in the chat. He says, "I can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith Sunday night at halftime and after the game videos. If we can beat the Cowboys." Oh yeah, he will go absolutely crazy. He hates the Cowboys, and with good reason. I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith guy. I mean, I used to be more back in the day than lately. All those ESPN people, I don't know. But I will be interested to see when the Packers dominate the Cowboys how he's singing. But I appreciate you, Lee. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to wrap this thing up. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Matt Ramage Show on Spotify, Apple, all the places. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, go ahead and subscribe over on YouTube. We got some good stuff flowing over here. The producer's off tonight. Otherwise, we'd have a lot more glamour, a lot more bing, bang, boom. You know what I mean? We'd have a lot more graphics, but it's hard to do all that and do this stream, but we have a good time over here. Shout out to you, Mark. I appreciate you. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Go Pack, go! Tune in Sunday night. Watch the Green Bay Packers. Damn it, Dallas Cowboys on Lambeau South. Is it Lambeau South? Yeah, that's the South. You know what I mean? Let's go with that. Go Pack, go, people.